Alrighty, had a little technical difficulty. Apologize when you have too many people on and not
It's
enough.
a good problem to have, Sean.
I was frozen in idjit mode.
Good problem to have, Sean.
I was about to dive in the computer.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, we are here tonight. We got a special live hangout with the man, the one, the only, the motivator, Eric Thomas, and we're super excited to be here. We got a ton of stuff we're going to cover. We're going to unleash some amazing content. It's interesting. We sent out a survey to a handful of people to kind of find out really what you guys wanted to learn. And one of the interesting things was you wanted to learn, how to live life with purpose, which was the paramount, one of the number one things, which tells me a lot about the people you're following, your constituents, that they want to live with purpose like you live with purpose, Eric.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. I'm excited, Sean. I mean, I've never before, the survey. I've never really moved by a survey. It was kind of, intuition, my feelings.
Yeah.
What I thought people wanted to hear. But looking at all of those surveys, and I mean narrowing down what people actually want. I mean, genius, man. And I got slides. I've never done slides, so I've got. I was on a plane. I was writing, thinking, taking notes. Listening to my music, getting inspired, rewriting. So I can't wait to unleash the content tonight, man. I'm excited.
Right. So we got a very special announcement at the end of this.
Yes.
We're gonna try to cram all this information into about an hour, and we have to just make sure you guys stay on to the end because we got a very, very special announcement for you, and you are not going to want to miss it.
No, sir.
Yeah, as you know, we have a live event coming up here in October, and we're going to unleash some killer stuff at this event that Eric has never done before, I have never done before, and we're going to really key in and target on what we can do to change your life. Because you can go to an event, Eric, and you can spend 2 or 3 days, but the bottom line is what's going to happen on Monday when you go back to your office, you go back to your four walls, you got your telephone. What our goal is to make a lasting impact so you can identify your purpose, live with purpose, but also to go out and generate revenue. And, if we can do those two things and accomplish that to where a year from now you can look back at this moment we're spending here right now, or look back if you decide to go to the event, which we'd love for you to do, to look back at that and say that was the tipping point, the pinnacle of my life.
Absolutely.
It'd be awesome.
Absolutely, Sean. Yep.
So we got a ton of stuff we want to talk about, Eric. We're going to talk about purpose because of anybody that lives with purpose, it's you. We last Google Hangout we kind of talked about your backstory. We talked about how you kind of went through struggles and you went through some hard times, but you had that inner voice inside you that kept nagging you to do something bigger, to do something more. And then you followed that inner voice, even though you're in the middle of the wilderness. You know what I mean? You just kept on proceeding forward. And now you are, one of the most world-renowned motivational speakers of all time that our world has ever seen, and had spoken in front of tens of thousands of people. So the question becomes, how did you find that purpose? What was that? And if we're talking to, say, someone that's 27 to 35, they have a job, they're making $50,000 a year, and they had that nagging voice, but they want to get out of the rat race. They want to do more. They have that voice. How would they find their purpose? I mean, how would they do that?
Ooh, I mean, Sean, let me give you some
question. I know that's a big thing to fill.
yeah. But I'm saying, let me give you some backdrop before we attempt to kind of go through the slides that I presented. Because what a lot of people don't know, Sean, is that I literally started working at the university for a few years.
Right.
I mean, for my marriage, Sean. I mean, we're talking about my marriage. Like, I've been married to my wife over 24 years. So we're talking about, my wife wanting stability. My wife wanted to know that, we had health insurance. We had a 401k. You know, stability. I've got 2 children. I got a kid with asthma, you know, who's in and out of the hospital. So, Sean, a big part of me working at 9 to 5 was to bring some sense of stability to my home, to make my wife, you know, happy. For me to be happy, I'm happy when my wife is happy. So here's the dichotomy, though, Sean. I'm doing this 9 to 5, and I know my wife is happy, and I'm going in every day, and I'm smashing it. Like I'm putting forth 120%, Sean. Like I'm going after it. I'm starting after school programs with the university students. I'm doing it. We're traveling. We're doing it, Sean. But you don't know E.T. because E.T. stayed where E.T. was. Like, you know E.T. because E.T. said, "Why I love making my wife happy. Why I love having health insurance. Why I love having a 401k." I mean, you're not talking about something that I don't like, Sean. I loved it. It was a great opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, for me, I loved it. It was great, you know. But at the same time,
it was comfortable, right?
Yeah. At the same time, I'm making my wife happy, you know, and that's huge for me. But then I told my wife, like, if you could just give me a couple months, like let me go after my purpose. And I guarantee you, I'll have more stability. We'll have more money. You know, we'll make some stuff happen. So I want that caveat, Sean, that if E.T. wasn't just, you know, always just in this direction. Like, I was struggling, just like a lot of people are struggling. They're like, E.T., this is good, but I'm tired of good. I want great. I want to get out of this space, and I want to do more. I was at that same spot, Sean, and it was just, I couldn't sleep at night. I mean, Sean, I couldn't sleep. Like, I wasn't satisfied. It's like eating the wrong food. Like, you have a taste for something and you eat something else, and like it doesn't satisfy you until you get that thing you're craving for. So I was literally craving for something, and I knew I gotta leave this and do whatever that is.
So tell me about in that transition there. Tell me about the fear that you were going through. So that there's got to be some fear of leaving comfort and going into the wilderness, going into living your purpose, going into something bigger, but it's an ocean that you don't know. You know, what's that fear? I mean, because everybody has fear there, and that fear typically stops people from achieving anything. So how did you handle that?
I mean, head on, Sean. Like, here's the deal. Here's the deal, Sean.
For everybody listening, did you expect anything different from Eric Thomas?
Look, here's the deal, Sean. It's like, E.T., you've got this fear that, okay, what if it doesn't work out? But then you have this reality of, I can't sleep at night. I can't get any rest. Like, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's like, okay, I've got this fear and I've got this other thing. Okay, the fear I can't touch. I don't really feel it, but the other stuff I feel. So let me just move forward and let me just see what's going to happen, because I can always go back to the fear. Like, I can always go back to the 9 to 5. I can always go back to being comfortable. I can go back to that. Right. But this other thing, Sean, I couldn't satisfy. And so it's like, I got to try at least. Like, if I fail, at least I failed doing something I love. At least I failed trying, and I can go back to this 9 to 5 saying I tried and it wasn't for me. I tried the YouTube boy. I tried to travel in the world. You know what I'm saying? I tried to motivate people and inspire people, and it just didn't work. So now I go back to this 9 to 5 with this reality that, okay, it wasn't meant to be. But Sean, I didn't want to turn 60, 70 and have that thing in my mind saying, what if? What if I had tried? What if I wrote a book? What if I wrote a second book? What if, you know what I'm saying, I got on the speaking circuit? What if? I did not want to spend the rest of my life with the what if. I said, I got to give it a shot. So I just told my wife, you know, give me 6 months, boo. Give me 6 months. You know, I don't remember it was a year. So I don't know. I just let me be me. Let me try to be me and do what I feel like I've been called to do. And I'm going to be real, Sean. Me and you sit here today because I made that decision, and the rest is history.
So you just said a very important thing, that you made a decision.
Yeah.
And it's funny
Yeah.
because if you go back to the, people ask, what's your tipping point? What was the thing that happened? And I think once you make a decision to do something, you kind of tip the scale in your favor, and especially if you make a decision and you're going to do it no matter what, then the universe kind of lines up and God kind of, rearranges stuff for you and things start to happen your way. But if you're indecisive or if you're lukewarm, like it says in the Bible, what do you get? Right?
Spewed out.
Spewed out. You get spewed out. And I know a lot of people are in that indecisive mode because they're going, what if I do it? What if I don't? And to make a decision is what's going to make it happen.
And Sean, can I be honest? You talked about Eric Thomas fear, right?
Yeah.
You're just scratching the surface, Sean. You're not talking about my wife's fear.
Oh.
Yeah, you're talking about my fear.
Yeah.
There are people who are watching me. Their fear, Sean, ain't the fear that they fear, Sean. It's their spouse fear that they fear. It's their mom who supported them, their father who supported them and said, yo, like, you about to do something crazy. And all these years I've done this for you. And we're not even talking about Eric Thomas' fear. We're talking about my wife saying, what if it doesn't work? What happens to the family? What What happens to the health care? What happens? Like, for real, my wife had a legitimate concern because we've got children. Like, she wasn't asking it from a dark place, Sean. She was asking it from, we have children. We got kids going to college. We have responsibilities. What if you take this leap of faith and it doesn't work? So it's one thing for me to be afraid, Sean. We're talking about my wife who can't sleep at night when I first launch out because she's not 100% sure how this thing is going to work out. But it's what you said. I still made a decision to do me. I still made a decision to do what was in my best interest. And guess what, Sean? I'm sure you can attest to this. Everybody's benefiting from the decision now.
And it's, and the scary thing is, now that you're at where you're at, is to imagine if you didn't. Imagine if you let fear get to you, or your wife's fear get to you, or those things get to you. Imagine what your life would be. Imagine and all these people that are listening right now, thousands of people listening to you right now are going, holy cow. I mean, it would change all their lives. It would change my life. It changed, because when it sucked for me, and when you own a business, it sucks. Not every day is great. It sucks, but I could always count on watching your videos, and in your videos, guess what? I could take on the day. Why? Because you did. And why? Because it just like, what if I don't? So it's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome.
All right, I'm ready, Sean. I'm ready to go through them. I'm ready to get him the secret to success.
We're going to talk about purpose.
Yeah.
And you got some killer stuff. So I am going to go to screen share.
Okay.
I'm going to go put this up. Let me know if you can see the
I can see it, Sean. I can see it, Sean.
Okay. How about now?
I can see it, Sean.
Boom. So what does that say?
Boom. All right, I'm ready. You ready, Sean?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. So look. This is the biggest piece, Sean. The biggest piece for me was E.T. There are a gazillion things you could do. Now, Sean, people have to understand this. I ran one of the most successful retention programs on the university's campus. I don't know what ranking I was, but as an advisor, students would come to my office regularly to meet me.
Right.
They would beat my door down, Sean, but I still was not satisfied. I still knew that was not it. So I'm talking to the person who's making good money, perhaps, or I'm talking to the person who has a stable job. I knew, Sean, in my heart that wasn't it. So it wasn't like I was failing. It wasn't like I was at the job and people at the university didn't know my name. It wasn't like I wasn't making impact at the university. But, Sean, that was not my purpose. It may have been a part of the plan and as it relates to the path, but it was not my ultimate purpose. I can truly say what I'm doing tonight, what I do on TGIM when I travel the world. I had a guy pick me up from the airport the other day, Sean, and this guy owns his own, young guy, owns his own limousine service. Sean, he cried. He said, E.T., man, I feel bad. I said, no, man, I'm telling you, I'm grateful for this. He cried, Sean. Nobody cried when I advised them. Nobody cried. Nobody cried, you know, when I was helping people to get their college career together. No, no. This guy cried. Why did he cry? He said, my mother died a year ago. I started watching you. You've inspired me. I have businesses now. I'm living with purpose now. So for me, Sean, what if I had stayed where I was and didn't get in my purpose? And I believe when I got in my purpose, that's when the phenomenal stuff started to happen. So there's some people, average stuff is happening to you, good stuff is happening to you, and you're wondering why the phenomenal stuff is not happening to you. And it's because you're not in your full purpose. Yup, you are doing some things, you're doing good, you're making money, but you're not in your purpose. And my challenge tonight, and when you come to the conference, you'll get a chance to dialogue, ask some questions. I'm going to take it to another level. But I want you to spend the rest of your life trying to find your purpose if you haven't found it yet. Next slide. I'm ready, Sean. I'm ready. Oh. I wrote this stuff down like you told me to, Sean, and I thought it through. I was on the plane thinking it through, and so I remember when I quit my job. You can go to YouTube. I'm not playing, Sean. I'm not making up stuff. The video dates back to at least 2010, so I'm not making this stuff up. I walked away from my university job, a real good job, during a recession. And I heard God say to me, you will have another level of success when you do what you're obsessed with. And when I use the word obsession, there are people who are doing things that they're good at. Yep, you're good at that. But Sean, God told me, don't do what you're good at. Do what you are obsessed with. What do you eat at night? What do you drink at night? What do you dream at night? When you wake up in a cold sweat, what are you thinking about? What do you want to do all day, every day? What is something that you don't have to get paid a dime for, and you're doing it? And there are people, they're doing things that they're making good money, but they're still empty, Sean. They're empty. They drive the Maserati. They drive the Bentley. They drive the Rolls Royce. They drive the Mercedes Benz. They drive the BMW. They live in the big house. They wear the nice clothes. They travel, but they are empty. Right. And they're empty because they're not doing something they're obsessed with. And Sean, I am obsessed with this work. I can do it all day, every day. My wife has to tell me, put the brakes on it. Put the brakes on it. You can't even sleep at night. You're tossing and turning. Why, Sean? I'm dreaming of the next dream, the next goal as it relates to what I'm doing. So listen to me very closely. Only excellence precedes promotion. You cannot go to the next level until you are excellent at what you do, and you can't be extremely excellent until you are obsessed with something. Now, you can do something very good, but you'll never go to the ultimate level of life until you do what you are obsessed with. And there are those of you out there, you're doing what you're doing because you're making good money doing it. You're doing what you're doing because it makes good sense. You're doing what you're doing because it kind of fell in your lap. But I'm telling you, those of you who've been following me and you're empty and you want next level, you have to be obsessed with it. Let me tell you why you have to be obsessed. This is important. Success can only be discovered in your difference. So when you're obsessed with something, Les Brown is obsessed with it. Jim Rohn was obsessed with it. Tony Robbins is obsessed with it. I can go down the list. Okay. Eric Thomas is obsessed with motivational speaking. But watch this. Because I'm obsessed with it, Sean, I found a gap. No other motivational speaker is wearing a 5950. No other motivational speaker is wearing T-shirts. No other motivational speaker got on shorts. No other motivational speaker is wearing gym shoes. No other motivational speaker is coming from the aspect I'm coming from. Why? Because when you do what you are obsessed with, when you do what you are obsessed with, you do it in a way that nobody else can do it because nobody else has your obsession. So when you do it that way, you automatically discover what makes you different. Now, the problem is most people who are average and who are good, they're doing what everybody else is doing like everybody else is doing it. It's like an assembly line. And what makes ET unique and special, now I'm not better than anybody else, but what makes me unique is my difference. And you cannot find your difference. You cannot be a trendsetter when you're not obsessed with what you do. All right, so this is the challenge. This is the call of action. The call of action is You need to find out what that gift is. Now, this is when success comes, Sean. When you find it, I'm on YouTube, Sean. Can I be honest with you, Sean? When you look at all the motivational speakers, they weren't on the internet giving away free information. They were not doing that. You date back to when I started doing it, and then now you look at some of the greats and you see they're doing it now. I started that. They didn't think of that, Sean, but the reason why I thought of it because I was so obsessed with the idea of motivating folks. I was like, how can I do this? I got it, YouTube. I got it, Facebook. I got it, Twitter. And so now all of a sudden, you're seeing people do it. Now, some people are doing it good. There are a few people who are doing it great, but you don't see a lot of people doing it like E.T. Why? Because they're doing it because they saw me do it. They're not obsessed with it. I am obsessed with this. So, number one, you need to find out what you're obsessed with. Find it. Find it. Once you find it, Sean, you need to develop it. I was sitting in my last class as we get ready to finish up this degree in 2014. I'm in class developing it. What's so funny, Sean, I haven't been in school in 2 years, and I got to take this last class I discovered before I can finish up. And it was so funny, Sean, when I was in the room, there were people saying, yo, that's E.T., like he's a star, he's a celebrity. What is he doing in the classroom, Sean? And so why am I in the classroom? I'm developing this gift. I don't need a PhD, but I do need to develop this obsession. I can't leave it how I found it. I got to get better every single day. Then you got to engineer it, Sean. You got to engineer it, meaning that you have to design. Everybody's got a car. I mean, everybody's making a car, BMW, a Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, whatever. But they each design it differently. I engineer this obsession. I engineer it, and then after I engineer it, I sharpen it. Every single day, Sean. That's why I'm with you. That's why I'm with other people. Iron sharpens iron. So do if one man sharpens another. So I'm constantly sharpening, Sean. And the last one, I'm evaluating this obsession, Sean. I'm looking at it every morning. I'm looking at it every night. I'm looking at E.T., what do you do well? E.T., what do you don't do well? E.T., what do you need to shift? E.T., what do you need to change? So look, I'm telling you out there, I'm not talking about, people call me all the time, E.T., I want to be a motivational speaker. E.T. didn't want to be a motivational speaker, Sean. That's not what I was trying to do. I was obsessed with helping people change their lives. I was obsessed with helping people make transitions. I was obsessed with giving people hope. The motivational aspect of getting paid from it, that came secondary. The most important thing was the obsession. And many of you are operating in stuff that you're good at, but you're not obsessed with it. And if you're not obsessed with it, I will beat you every single day. Why? Because I'm obsessed. And that takes it to a whole nother level, Sean. All right, I'm ready, Sean. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready, Sean. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. All right, all right. So this is important, guys. This is important. All right, you will never change what you tolerate. All right, you will never change what you tolerate. So let me tell you what I mean by that. All right, so I was going in this place every day, and I was tolerating it. I was putting up with it. There was stuff that I was going through with my boss that I was tolerating, Sean. It was stuff I was going through in my environment that I tolerated it. And it wasn't until I got to the point I said enough is enough. Enough of this. Enough of this being good. Enough of this, you know, coming to a place that I don't really want to come to. Enough of this. I don't have time to work on my obsession. Let me tell you, Sean, when I knew it was time to quit, I'm going to be 100 with the people who are watching tonight. Sean, I felt like I was cheating, Sean. I felt like I was cheating, Sean. I was going to this job, Sean, and they were paying me, man. They were paying me good money, Sean, but all I could think about was what I'm doing right now. When I went to work, my mind wasn't on the job. I was going through the motions, Sean. I was getting a paycheck. I was in staff meetings. Sean. I ain't hear nothing that they were saying. I was so obsessed with one of these days I'm going to do this. One of these days I'm going to do that. And it got to that point where I said enough is enough. I can no longer hide what I'm obsessed with. I can no longer hide my love for motivating. I can no longer hide my love for transforming. I can no longer hide my love for what I really want to do. I can't hide it no more. And it reminds me of the movie Braveheart, where, you know, they got married, Sean, and they had to, you know, it was illegal to get married, so they had to hide their love. They couldn't do it, Sean. They couldn't do it. People start watching and they notice they must be married. The way they hold each other, the way they look at each other, the way they touch each other, the way when they're in their presence, Sean, that's how it got.
I was in a job I didn't want to be at, but you could tell my mind was somewhere else. My heart was somewhere else. And I was like, it's time to stop cheating. I cannot tolerate being in a place that I'm not in love with anymore, a place that I don't grow, a place that I don't feel free, a place that these walls, I gotta break free and do what I gotta do. All right. So the last part, executing, the proof is in the pudding. Let me tell you something. When you start doing, when you find your purpose, you start executing on the level that you've never executed before. Sean, when I get on the mic, yep, I'm nervous because of the depth of what I do, the seriousness of the work that I do. But I execute, Sean. I execute every time. Why? Because when you do what you've been called to do, what you were born to do, what you were purposed to do, when you're in your lane, when you are in your lane and in your environment. We've seen basketball players that they put in the wrong position, and those guys look terrible. And then you put them in the right position. You take the shooting guard who's not a real shooting guard, and you put him up at one, and you allow him to lead, and he takes off. He flourishes. Sean, I'm able to execute in a way I've never executed before, not because I'm making money, not because I'm doing something that I'm good at, not because I'm following what my parents wanted me to do or what my wife wanted me to do. I am in my giftedness. I'm in my calling and my anointing. And so every time I do something, boom, it has a type of result that keeps taking me higher and higher and higher and allowing me to attract people and circumstances that I've never, ever even thought was important. So we must find our purpose. Our very life, our very career, our very family's health, everything is dependent on that. And when I found my passion, Sean, and I went at it, the green is greener, Sean. The blue is bluer. My wife is happier. My children, why? Because their daddy is happy. I'm not coming home with the weight of the world on me no more. I'm not bringing the problems of my job to my family no more. I'm not toxic anymore. I'm not talking about all the crazy stuff that went on at the job. I don't talk about crazy stuff because everything is a blessing. And so when you find your purpose, you are able to execute to the highest possible level, Sean. Awesome. All right, I'm sorry I got caught up, Sean. I'm sweating over here. I got caught up. But this is real, man. This is real. This is real. All right, so I want to talk about, all right, so we talked about living the purpose, Sean, and there was something else that the research brought out. I don't have it in front of me right now. But what was our second piece, Sean? This is talking about live life with passion. Right. And so there was something else they asked.
You're talking about
so that second day or that second session that I had, there was something, and I don't have the schedule in front of me, but that first one was talking about discovering your purpose, and then the next one, I don't remember what that was, but if I could find that, I grab my phone, see if I can find the schedule. I just wanted to make sure I really brought out specifically what that was. Let me grab my phone real quick. And then we can break that down, Sean. I look at the master schedule here. I just want to make sure it's consistent.
Right.
I got it right here. Don't worry about it. I got it right here in front of me. I just want to make sure I address, because there were some concerns that they had. I wanted to make sure I addressed those specific concerns that they had. And so the first one we talked about, yep. How do you make impact, in a positive way, Sean? That's what people wanted to know. How do you make impact in a positive way? All right, and results. What are the results of making that impact? People were asking, Sean, like E.T., that execution you talk about. That's what I want to be able to do. That's the level that I want to live at. Like I want to have it. I want to be it. I want to do it, E. So how do I make impact? You're making impact, E. You check. People are watching your videos. Kids are changing the way they do school. Teachers are teaching different. Fathers are different. Parenting is different. Employees, everything is different. E, how do you do that? And so I want to talk quickly, live a life with passion. I want to talk about the law of reaping and reproduction. So, Sean, for me, this is what we had to discover. So you create a level of success every time you do this. So the first thing I did, Sean, I found a need. Sean, listen to me. There's a lot of guys out here that think I started to make money, Sean, and I'm amazed at how many people call me like, E.T., man, I want to speak so I can make money. Look, I'm not saying you can't make money. I'm not saying that that's not a philosophy, but you can't call E.T. to find out, because that's not what E.T. did. Right. I cannot give you something that I don't have. I can't give you information that does not exist in my brain. So, Sean, we never did this to make money. I discovered a need. So what was the need? Sean, if you remember, my videos came out during the recession, Michigan. Sean, we had over 2 million people in Detroit. We have about 600,000. I watched people take flight when they lost their jobs. I watched people, Sean. I watched the spirit of depression. I watched people become toxic. I watched the very life of people was sucked out of them when they lost their job at Ford, GM, or Chrysler. You could see it. And so I said, look, I got a gift. I got a gift of motivating people. I got a gift of inspiring. When that mic come on, when that camera come on, I have a way of speaking to people in a way that make them believe again. So I saw a need, Sean. Matter of fact, not only did I see a need, I was looking for it. I was looking to say, okay, how can I help? What can I do? You know, I wasn't waiting for somebody to come to me. I took ownership. I wasn't waiting for CBS or NBC or the university. I wasn't waiting for an interest group to come to me and tell me, E.T., there's a need. We need you. No, Sean, I looked for a need. I saw a need. And then, boom, I fulfilled a need every single Monday. Thank God it's Monday. Every single Monday. I told people, look, why are you so excited about Friday? Monday is the day to make your dreams become a reality. If you got a job, you go in there and you nail it. Be faithful over few, and he will make you rule over many. You go in there and nail it. And if you don't have a job, you wake up on Monday and you act like you got one. You get dressed. You put on your shirt and tie. You open up that computer. You write that book. You do artwork. Whatever it is you do, you find a need and then you fulfill that need. You go volunteer at a school. You go volunteer at the nursing home. You go up to a school and work with a group of people. You volunteer. You fulfill that need. And let me tell you something. You place that need in its proper place, Sean. If you put it in its proper place, Sean, there's absolutely nothing you can't do, nothing you can't have, nothing you can't be. So what do I mean place the need? Sean, I went to a major university and I put my seed there. I went on YouTube, I put my seed there. I went to elementary and middle school and high school. I went to D1, I went to the NFL, I went to the NBA. Listen to me again, I went to YouTube. I knocked on doors. People would call me, Sean, who followed me, and I would answer their call. I got on a YouTube and I did comments. I got on Twitter and I did comments. I put my need in its proper place, and boom, I blew up. And there's some people trying to put a square peg, you trying to put a square peg in a round hole, and you trying to force it in, force it in, force it in. You're going where you are tolerated and not where you celebrated. Listen to me, Sean. Listen to me very closely, Sean. I was in a place where I was tolerated. I was tolerated by my boss. I was tolerated. And I left that place where I was tolerated, and I went to a place where I was celebrated. YouTube, D1, elementary, middle school, I went to a place where I was celebrated and not tolerated. And my opportunities was different. My money was different. The response was different. So finally, guys, for those of you who want to make impact, you know you are empty. You're not doing what you've been called to do. You don't feel excited when you go to bed at night. You don't feel this sense of fulfillment. Look, discover a need, fulfill that need, and place that need in its proper place, and you are going to have, it's going to blow your mind. You're not going to know. Sean, I was at a high school today. I was in that class. I went back to another school, University of Michigan in Flint, did an hour presentation, and now I'm back here, Sean. 3 or 4 major pieces today. I have found places to put my gift, and every single time, Sean, mutualism. I give it, and I get it back. Seed bearing fruit after its kind. You plant apple seeds, you're going to get an apple tree back, baby. You plant oranges, you're going to get orchards. Whatever you plant, you're going to get back. So put your seed in the proper place, and booyah! Man, you're going to start getting trees that bear seed after seed after seed. So you want to make impact? Those are the first things you need to do. All right, so I got a couple more I got to give you guys. Yeah, that's what asked. You guys all right. The level of your contribution to determine your wealth. All right, you got to see that. All right, we're going to put that up again, Sean. They got to see that. That one is so critical, guys. That one is so powerful that the level of your giving, guys, the level of your giving, all right, the level of your contribution to others will determine your wealth, all right? Oh, I like it. 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 Listen to me. Somebody say, E.T., you sweating. I'm not sweating because of the lights, baby. I'm sweating because of this energy I'm putting forth. The level of your contributions to others determine your wealth. And when I got on YouTube and I started reaching 1,000, I saw my wealth grow. When I reached 10,000, I saw my wealth grow. When I had 100,000, I saw it grow. When it went to millions, are you hearing me? Your problem is that your contributions that you're giving out, they're so small. You're being stingy. You're holding it on. When you start giving, you just start giving your gift away. You start being a blessing to people. I'm telling you, the level of your contribution to others determine the level of your wealth. Listen to me. Seed what you need and what you want. And so I'm being honest with you guys. I'm being honest with you. I got to a place where my son needs college tuition. So before my son went to college, and I had kids, I need 500. I need 100. I would just bless those kids. I would just look out for those kids. All right. E.T., I'm trying to get money to get this car. I know I didn't have enough money to buy a car, so I just gave him the little $100, $200 I had. See what you need. See what you need. We keep asking people to give us, and we're not giving. With the same measure that you meet, shall be met unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and receive what you need. Right? If you need an education, go somewhere and just give away what you know. Teach somebody Spanish if you know it. Teach somebody French if you know it. Just teach. Whatever you know, just teach it. Seed what you need. Look, no seed left behind. Are you hearing me? I told you today. I got a call to do something at 9 o'clock in the morning. I did it. I had to be somewhere at 12. I did it. I had to speak again at 5 o'clock in another city. I did it. I had to rush back here so I could do this webinar. I didn't say to Sean, let's not do it on Tuesday, Sean. I have 3 other things to do. No. No seed left behind. I told you to down E. If I can do it, if there's enough time in the day to do it, if my responsibilities put me in a position where I can do it, I have to do it. No seed left behind. All right? Just give. Just keep giving. Just give. And if you keep giving, I'm telling you, you're going to wake up one day. You're going to wake up one day like E.T., and you're not going to be able to believe it. Watch this. Release every seed in your hand, every single gift you got. I am sick and tired of people who could sing. You got to beg them to sing. Look, sing. I'm sick and tired of people who have the gift of motivation. You got to beg them, or you got to pay them every time they do something, right? You got to bribe them, right? I'm sick and tired of people who have gifts and they're not using their gifts. Release every seed that's in your hand. Release it. If you know how to write, why aren't you writing books? You selfish. Write. If you know how to act, you could put plays together. Stop being selfish. Release every single seed that's in your hand. Every gift that you have, every opportunity that you have to release that gift. Release that gift. You don't know whose life you're going to change. You don't know whose life you're going to touch. And so release it. Release it. Whatever gift you have in you, release it. Why? Because it's not about you. It's about somebody else. And stop doing it to make a dime. Stop doing it. I'm not telling you that you're not worth higher, but there are times that there are elementary schools that may not be able to afford me, middle schools that are within my Michigan area, that's within the Illinois area, the Ohio area, places where I can drive. I've got to be able to be a blessing to them. Now, I'll be honest, I can't fly all the way to Oregon and California for free. I can't. There's not enough time in the day. I can't. But there's some things locally that I've been asked to do today that I did. Release every single seed in your hand. Don't hold anything back. So listen to me. If you want to make impact in this world, if you want to change lives, do what I just told you to do. E.T. started with a GED, and I taught a GED class. I wasn't that smart, but I taught what I knew. The level of your contributions to others will determine your wealth. So I gave away what I had, and that GED program turned into motivational speaking. That's right, because every single year, I would go in my class every day and do a 5 to 10 minute motivational reading, and then I would elaborate on it. And I learned how to speak well from that one program at the university, Oakwood University. I helped run a program every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and when I spoke, I was getting better and better every single time. I did it for free. And now I get paid to do what I was practicing when I was a young adult. So remember, every seed that's in your hand, you don't have to be a giant at it. You don't have to be a genius at it. You could just be getting started, but give it, release that seed that's in your hand, and boom, watch other people's lives go to another level, and then watch your life Go to another level because you bear seed after every kind. So whatever you reap, whatever you sow, that's what you're gonna reap. All right, Sean. All right, Sean.
Oh.
All right, Sean.
Obstacles.
All right.
What about obstacles?
All right, Sean. Everybody's always calling me and asking me, ET, man. It sounds good, man, but you don't know what I've been through. You don't have the slightest idea. Look at the picture well. Look at the picture, guys. Look at the picture, because I don't want you to miss it. Prosthetic leg. Look at that. Look at that. Look at it, guys. Look at it. Maybe you didn't see it. No excuses. No excuses. No obstacles. Listen to me. So I put there what obstacles. Take a look at it. I put what obstacles. I'm ready, Sean. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm about to show y'all something that's going to blow your mind. I want to blow your mind. Listen to me. Rethink adversity. All right? It's your business. It's your business agent. Listen to me very, very closely, guys. Do you understand that I'm where I am today? Because I don't see obstacles as a bad thing. I don't see adversity as a bad thing. I don't see trials and tribulations as a bad thing. You know what your problem is? Your problem is you are talking about how much wealth you want to make, but you see problems just like everybody else. Listen to me. I have welcome problems. You know why? Because every problem that I can overcome, every obstacle that I can overcome, now I can teach that to you. Every challenge that I've been able to get through, I've been able to solve, I've been able to fight through and get on the other side, now I can teach that to you. So Ashley, the greater my problems are in terms of wealth, I do better in terms of wealth. Why? That's what people hire me for. Do you think corporate America brings me in just to be a cheerleader? No. They tell me what their problems are, and I come in and solve them. Don't you understand that if I had never been homeless, if my father had been in my life, don't you understand if I was never homeless and eating out of trash cans, don't you know if I hadn't dropped out of high school that I'd be like most people when they look at trials and tribulations and they give up and they give in? No, I welcome them. Why? Because I know how to overcome them. Now people pay me to teach them and their companies how to overcome. So you got to do me a huge favor. Rethink adversity. Why are you whining and crying? Why are you giving up and giving in? Don't you know your wealth will come from your ability to not only deal with adversity, but get on the other side of it and then teach it to other people? When you can teach people how to get through their stuff, you go to a whole other level. All right. Don't run from it. Don't run from it anymore. Stand firm. I want you to stand firm in the midst of every one of your obstacles. Why? Because there's something to learn from it. So next time you have a trial and tribulation, put it in the lab. Dissect it. What can you learn from it? What can you learn from it? What is it trying to teach you? What do you need to do differently? What can you do better? And then after you dissect it, you put it back together and you give it to somebody else and you show them how to dissect it. There is a blessing in being homeless. Don't you know I connect with people? Man, do you know how many arrogant celebrities I've met in the course of the last 4 or 5 years? Do you know how many arrogant people I've met who've never gone through any trials or tribulations? How many people aren't humble? How many people aren't approachable? Why? Because they haven't been through anything. And when you go through stuff like I go through, and you walk into a classroom and you talking to a group of kids that will not sit down, that will not shut up, that don't understand the importance of school, when you start talking to them and they understand that you've walked the same road they walked, that you've taken the same path that they've taken, that everything they've experienced, that you've already experienced it, and you know what they're going through, and you're speaking directly to their soul. Do you know how that changes a kid and turns his life around? Do you know when you're dealing with married couples that are going through it and you share your trial and your tribulation? Do you know when you're dealing with students that feel like they got to give up and give in because they didn't pass the test the first time, and you tell them it took you 12 years to get a 4-year degree? Do you understand how you connect with people? And do you understand that when I connect with people, that's what separates me from everybody else? It is my trial that's been my greatest blessing. It's my adversity that got me to where I am today. Life ain't been no crystal stair. It's not that my life was easy and everything was great. You wouldn't know me. You wouldn't care about me. You don't call me or talk to me because you're interested in my story. You call me and talk to me because I can help you to get through your go through. So I need you to stand firm the next time you go through a trial and tribulation. You break that thing down. You dissect it. Don't let it dissect you. You dissect it. And when you dissect it, you look for the blessing in it. Because there is a blessing in every trial, in every situation. There is a blessing. Stop running from it. Rethink it. Stop looking at it as something something negative. It's not negative. It's positive. It can teach you. Learn from it. Something about you needs to change. Something about you needs to grow. And that trial is only there to propel you to your greatness. I've said this before. If you have a slingshot and you have a rock and you pull it back right here, it ain't going to go that far, boo. But when you let that thing go all the way back, you think that because you're going back, that you're getting further away from your goal. But actually, when you go back, the further you go back, when you let the rock go, oh, come on, that rock will have so much force on it because of how far it's gone back. My homelessness took me back, yes. My not having my father in my life, yes. But when I finally went forward, I have gone forward with so much force. So stop tripping. You ain't going backwards. You ain't going backwards. You're learning and you're getting prepared for your greatness. And then when you get there like me, because of what you've gone through, you'll be able to stay there. All right. So you will be remembered by, listen to me, the problems you create or the problems you solve. Listen to me very closely. You only be remembered by two things: the problems you created or the problems you solved. And when you create problems, you don't make money like that. You make money from the problems you solve, right? Your wealth is proportionate to your ability to solve other people's problems. That's why ET is ET today. I am helping school systems solve their problems. Married people solve their, listen to me, through Breathe University, there are marriages that are on another level. They couldn't get it right, but they joined my program and I'm sharing stuff with them, simple stuff that they never thought of before. I'm sharing how to overcome particular problems, and their marriages are taking off. Listen to me. Listen to me. My wealth is not coming from who I am. My wealth is coming from what I've been through and what I'm able to share. I'm helping school districts. I just left Which. I am helping now sandwich franchises. I've worked with Quicken Loans and AT&T. I worked with AT&T in the Carolinas, and that group was the #1 sales group in AT&T in all states. Are you hearing me? I now get paid to help other people solve their problems. So if you run from your problems, you're running from your wealth. Yep. I said it. You heard it. If you're running from your problems, then you're running from your wealth. If you're running from your problems, you're running from what you are called to do, called to be, and called to have. So stop tripping because you're going through an obstacle, and sit there and learn from that obstacle, dissect that obstacle, and then once you overcome it, help somebody else to overcome it. Oh, I'm getting warm now, Sean.
Yeah, I can feel it.
You do not want to miss this conference. I called Sean and said, Sean, how much do I cover? You know, and Sean said, he told me how much. But let me tell you something, that conference, guys, we're going to be live. It's not going to be, you know, this technology. We're going to be in a room together. You're going to ask me questions. I'm going to answer your questions, and we're going to take this thing to another level. Look, never forget 3 types of people in your life: those who help you in difficult times, those who left you in your difficult times, and those who put you in difficult times. Listen to me. Out of that group, there's only one group you're real close with right now. And listen to me. Take the test. 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 Talk to me right now. Take the test. Who is your best friend? Who is your accountability partner? Who is that person that you run with to this day? Is it A, #1, who helped you in difficult times? Is it 2, who left you in your difficult times? Or 3, who put you in difficult times? I can guarantee you this, there ain't a lot of people, I can guarantee you, there's not a lot of people in category #3. I guarantee you that. Might be a couple people in category 2, but the answer is category #1. People who help you in difficult times. So if you've never been through difficult times, if you don't understand difficult times, right, then how are you going to help people with your difficult times? So you stop complaining, you stop whining, and you learn from your difficult times, and then you leverage your adversity. You use your adversity to your advantage. My adversity helped me write 3 books. And each book, all I'm talking about in each book, is what I went through, what I learned from it, and what you can learn from it. Oh, I'm getting excited right now. I promise, guys, I only got a couple more slides. I got a couple more slides, but I got to help you out. So then the other question was asked, Sean, E.T., how do you make your dream become a reality? Everybody wanted to know, you know, how do you achieve your dreams? How do you achieve your goals? The first one, you saw the video this week. I made a decision. I made a decision. Yeah. Bottom line, I made a decision. I quit my job. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm not telling you what decision to make. Don't put that on me. All right? Do not put that on me. That's your responsibility. Don't tell your wife I told you to quit. Don't tell your husband I told you to quit. I did. Don't tell your boss, E.T. the hip-hop preacher. Don't tell him that. I told you the decision that God told me to make. I'm not telling you what decision to make. But I am telling you this. You have to make a decision. Why? You cannot get started until you make a decision. And can I be honest with you guys? I might be where I am today. I might have been here a year earlier or the year before that. Okay, Sean, a lot is coming out, man. A lot's coming out.
Yeah.
Do you know I went to my superior 2 years before I quit and told them that I wanted to quit, and they told me no, E.T., don't do it. I went back the next year and asked again. They told me to wait, make sure everything is right before you leave. Do you know it took me 2 years to make that decision? And I don't know if I made, to this day, I don't know if I waited too late. I don't know if I should have went earlier. I'm not 100% sure. But I do know it wasn't until the video where I made the decision that I got started. It wasn't until I let everything go. You have to let go of what's in your hand so God can let go of what is in his hand. I won't say it again. Woo! You got to let go of what's in your hand so that God can let go of what's in his hand. And he's still holding on to it because you refuse to let go of some stuff. So I made a decision. I let go of what I had, and you see what I have now. So number one, you got to get started. And then once you get started, my problem with a lot of y'all, the reason why you need to keep your 9 to 5, because there's no way you're going to get up in the morning if you don't keep your 9 to 5. All right? There's absolutely no way you're going to be able to keep your 9 to 5.
Did we lose ET? Looks like he's locked up. He froze up. But he was on a roll. Let's see if we can get him back in here. He's talking about some killer stuff. And he had some killer styles. Let me see. No, he's frozen. Frozen. Oh, wait, here he goes.
Okay.
What happened, dude? You blew up the cameras.
It was too much juice, Sean. It was too much juice. It was too much juice, Sean. The computer couldn't handle it. Too much free juice, baby.
That was insane. All right. Let's get
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
let's get back to some. All right. So I said, look, here's the problem, Sean. Okay? Can you see the screen okay?
We good?
I know. Can you see it okay?
I see it great, Sean. Listen to me, Sean. Most people need to keep their 9 to 5 because they're not consistent. Something about a 9 to 5 make them get up every day, get dressed, go to work, do lunch, productive. Sean, my wife said, I don't know how you do it, baby. I don't know how you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how, like you don't have an alarm clock. You don't have a boss. Listen to me. The biggest piece of my success is the consistency, Sean. I'm doing, look, if you follow me on Twitter, look and see it. I'm putting up something almost every day for years, Sean, not for 2 weeks. Most people, Sean, they get started, they stop after a week, they stop after 2 weeks, they stop after 3 weeks. I got guys trying to be on my level, Sean. I've been doing this since 1992. They trying to be on my level, and they just got started 6 weeks ago, and they're not even consistent with it. All right, so look, get started, but do me a favor. I tell all my mentees, if you don't plan on being consistent, don't even start it. Yep. Don't start putting stuff up on Twitter and acting like you this motivational guru and you putting out positive messages and you're going to do it every blue moon. You got a video. You're going to put up your video once every blue moon. How are people going to get to know you? How are they going to trust you? How's your information going to be solid to them? They don't even know you. You're not consistent. So I tell people, man, I'd rather have a dude who's good. If you're a coach, you'd rather have a dude that's putting up 10, 10, and 5 consistently than the dude that's dropping 30, 10, and 15, and then 3 games later, my man don't put up nothing. Consistency is so important. It is so key. It's so critical. So when we get to the conference, Sean, I'm going to really break down how to be consistent. Listen to me. Identify and attract faith-driven people. The biggest problem when you start going after your goals and your dreams, Sean, I'm just going to be honest. People are not going to be able to see what you see. They're not going to motivate you and inspire you. Most people are people of fear, Sean. They can't see it. They can't touch it. It's not real. Those people are going to be in your ear. Those people are going to be discouraging you. You're going to hear the bad news. Sean, you got to find at least one person like David and Jonathan. You got to Paul and Esau. You got to find that one person, Batman and Robin. You got to find that one person. You got Kobe and Shaq. You got Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. You got to find your Scottie Pippen. You got to find your Dwayne Wade. You have to find that individual, Sean, that has faith. That individual that when you down, they're gonna push you up. And what I've discovered, Sean, is no two people are ever down on the exact same day. You got to find that faith. You got to identify, and then you got to attract faith-driven people. Now, what do I mean by identify, Sean? I might be able to identify you and you identify me, but that don't mean you're attracted to me. And so I have to do things, Sean, that will make you want to be in my life, make you want to support my dreams, make you want to help me with this webinar, make you want to help me with Breathe University, Sean. I have to do so. I met you, Sean, yes. But we still have a long-lasting relationship. Why? Because I've done something to attract you and vice versa. All right, listen to me. Execute on the little things. I'm tired. People want to blow up. People want to do conferences. People want to talk to 10,000 people. People want to write books. You don't even wash dishes faithfully. You don't even clean your clothes faithfully. Listen to me. You don't even post regularly. You don't even put up videos regularly. Like, you want to be big. I had a kid the other day tell me, what you want to do? I just want to be big. I just want to be famous. What? For what? For what and for who? So execute on the little things. Listen to me. Practice longer than you play. Sean, I'll be honest with you, man. I do not do webinars every day. I do not speak every day. I know it looked like it. I promise you. But I don't have an engagement.
Jeez. All right, well, I just texted him back. Get him back on here. He's it looks like he froze up. Let's see if he's gonna get back on here because he's got some killer slot. Oh man, he's got some killer stuff. Well, he's on fire, huh? Well, let's see if he gets back on here. If not, we're going to talk about making some money. We're going to talk about actually solving some big problems. So let's see if he comes on here. Yeah, he just types back, yikes. Solving some big problems is interesting that he talks about solving problems because it's funny because that's what I do is I solve problems very few amount of people. But you can make a ton of money solving problems for a very few amount of people, especially in real estate. So let's see if we can get him back on here and then get him. He's working on signing back in on here. All right. I don't know if I should start telling you my story and get into making some money or wait for him to get back on because he's working on it right now. Getting back on. All right. Well, as you know, we're doing an event here in October at Talking Stick Resort. Go to attendgreatness.com. Attendgreatness.com. I think I can. I don't know if I can chat this. Let me see. I'm going to put this up here. Boom. put this up for you guys. Go to 10greatness.com. You can register for the event. Let's see if he's getting back on. Yeah, and make sure you stay at the end because we got an incredible announcement about the event. But what we're going to cover is some pretty interesting things. And the interesting thing is how Eric and I got to meet. I do conferences every year. And interesting, I have a real estate investment firm here in Phoenix, and we do a ton of deals here. And I also started a podcast, and I launched it in iTunes. It's funny, he's talking about consistency and posting, and I have about, I don't know, about 100 plus, 110, 115 different episodes out there on iTunes talking about flipping houses and using real estate, almost like day trading houses. So I talk about that, and I have different success stories of people on there talking about their stories. But I had a huge event out in Atlanta. We had close to about 300 people there. And I hired Eric to come out and speak, and literally he blew everybody away. And we talked the next morning. We had breakfast, and we had early in the morning. Had breakfast. It was like dark outside, and we had breakfast. And interestingly enough, we started talking about him about Breathe University, about things we're doing. So then, a lot of time passed. About a year later, then I hired him for an event I just had here in April. Had a ton of people there. He came out and spoke again and just crushed it. Now, the interesting thing about Eric, which is phenomenal, is he provides a phenomenal amount of motivation, for purpose and to go out and accomplish unbelievable things. I would listen to his, thank God it's Monday. I'd listen to him every single Monday because I was in a situation where you're in business. You go through those ups and downs. Some days are great, and some days suck, right? So what I do is I go and I listen to Eric Thomas about his motivation and what he could do, and he get me all pumped up to tackle the day. And you need people like that in your life, and he is absolutely one of the greats. And for a person that I have followed for years. Well, because of the motivation and the excitement, it allowed me to just continue to grow my business over the years. Well, we saw an opportunity, and I love, what he does with the motivation and what I do, teaching people how to go out and flip houses and make an extra $3,000 to $10,000 a month working part-time around their jobs. And we said, wouldn't it be great to have an event where you can teach purpose and how to make an impact and change people's lives, and I can talk about how to go out and generate revenue, how to solve that problem for a small group of people, but be able to make a fortune doing it. So what happened was I was, sitting there, and I happened to call him up, and we were sitting there talking, and I said, wow, it would be great, phenomenal thing to be able to have an event, a joint together, and I really wanted to, be in a position where I could have Eric, speak over a course of 3 days, right? It's interesting, we have our schedule. If you go to 10greatness.com, it's actually posted up there. But some of the things he's going to talk about how he's generated revenue, how he makes an impact, how he goes out and lives with passion, but also teaches other people how to do it. And then what I'm going to talk about is how to go out and go from an extra $3,000 to $10,000 a month, but break down the specific details. So if you don't know anything about real estate whatsoever, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, kind of how to, kind of like a backstory of, let me see if you guys can see that. Okay, you can. It looks like you can. So I'm going to show you exactly not hot, but how to make an extra $3,000 to $10,000 a month. Pretty funny. A month in real estate. Okay, so how to make an extra $10,000. Now, here's the thing. I've never come from a wealthy family. I grew up in Vermont. My dad was a police officer. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. I never came from money. My dad made no more than $30,000, $40,000 a year. So I always grew up in a place where basically I'm going to show you how to What's up, buddy? Let me see if you guys.
You got me?
I got you.
All right.
So I'm going to show you exactly how hot. Not hot. Okay, you guys got the.
You got the screen. You can see it all over it.
Here, kill that other one. We'll get you going here. All right. A month in real estate. Okay, so how to make it expensive. Now, Eric, can you kill that background there? I did. I've never come. You kill that background. You got background on. Vermont. My dad was the police officer.
How is it? Is it better?
Yeah, just kill the background noise. The background. It's the background.
Say it again.
Okay, there you go. That's better. Okay, the background. Okay, all right. I'm going to put your slide.
Hey, I'm not gonna do no more, Sean. It's too much. I'm gonna introduce you, and then I'm gonna introduce you, and then we'll come back and give them the big news. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of information, bro.
That was incredible. That was awesome. That was between the impact and the purpose and the obstacles and solving a problem. And it's interesting how you happen to end on solving a problem. You know, that's kind of where that's what I do in my business is solve problems. So it's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll get in and just talk about you real quick, and then they say, all right, we only have so much time. I know y'all gotta boom, let you do yours, and then you like, ET, what's the big announcement? Then we'll end it with the big announcement.
Let's do it.
Huh?
Let's do it. We're game.
All right. So bring me. Yep. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. You're up. You're live.
What up? Hey, y'all, it's your boy ET. My bad, y'all. I think it's too much juice for this computer, y'all. All right, so I promise you an hour. We're a little bit over that time. So this is what I'm going to do. The one thing I could not answer, a lot of people on the survey said, ET, you talked about turning your passion, right, into a product, turning your purpose into a profit. Now, this is huge, guys. I am where I am because I've been able to do both. I've been able to find my purpose, but my purpose has allowed me to create wealth, all right, profit, and that's important. So a lot of you guys hit me and asked that. Now, I promise to do another webinar. We'll finish the other slides, but it's getting late. A lot of my friends are texting me, you know what I'm saying, hit me up. So I'm going to let Sean talk about the opportunity. Look, don't go nowhere. Sean, like, let me go first, because if you say your last piece, they might not stay home. All of them may not stay home. All right, so we want to make sure everybody stay home for this opportunity. All right, so I got a huge announcement. Y'all know I keep it 100. I'm telling you, I think you're going to like this. For those of you who plan on coming to the conference and not just getting this electricity and more information, my business partner, CJ, is going to be there. The guy that helped, man, with the brains of this, Carl's going to be there. Carl's going to be talking about how he used the internet to make me a household name. All my wife, my children. I'm telling y'all, this is a 3-day. This ain't no in and out. We're going to break the business down to you. How we wrote the book, how we came up with the idea, everything, guys. So, Sean, I know I've taken a lot of time. Sean, please talk to him about the opportunity, and I'm going to make the big announcement at the end, baby.
Sounds good, man. Well, I appreciate it. I was just telling them how I'm grateful to you and to you for being the person that I went to out of all the speakers out there. And I don't want to name names, but there is one person I resonated with, one person from a business standpoint, from a motivational standpoint, from when you're in the ups and downs and stuff like that, to really find someone that I connected with that had a way to pull out the something in your gut to keep moving forward when life sucks. You know what I mean? Because it's not all business. As well as it's not all rose petals and fluffy. It's all you don't get rich every single day. The bottom line is there's obstacles you got to overcome. There's issues that are overcome. But having that motivation has enabled me to keep moving forward and build a multi-million-dollar business and then be able to teach it as well. So it's definitely exciting to be able to do that. So anyways, so you want me to go into, I'm going to blow. Okay. I think you went off. So I am going to pick up. All right. So the bottom line is that, let me go back to the screen here. There it is. Okay. All right. So basically, the bottom line is that I was living a dead-end job. I had no advancements. I was 33 years old. I had no. I was making, I don't know, probably $25,000 a year. I was living month to month every single month. I had a boss that I hated. I had a job that I hated. And I found myself in a situation where I had a brand new baby girl, and I was in a job I hate. I would sit there every single night, and I'd lay in bed, I'd look at the ceiling and try to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with my life. And then on Sundays, Sundays, you get around like dusk on Sunday, and I get this terrible feeling in my gut that I had to go to work the next morning. It was terrible. So what happened was one Saturday afternoon I had to go on a sales call, and I was flipping through the radio stations. And first off, I hated working on Saturday because that was the days I spent with my family, and I got the honey to-do list around the house. So what I did was I actually went out and had to go on this appointment. I took the call not only because I had to make money, but I had to get this call taken care of. So anyways, I went to this appointment. And as I was driving down the freeway, I was flipping through the radio stations. The appointment was about a half hour away. And there's a station in Arizona called 1510 KFNN. It's a financial news radio. And there was a guy talking about how you could make money in real estate, and you could do it with no cash and no credit and have no experience. Now, I'm originally from New England, and I grew up in a skeptical family that kind of questioned everything. So initially, I said in my head, it's got to be a scam. No one can make money in real estate without having cash or credit. You have to have a bankroll, and you've got to have a great credit score before you can make money in real estate. So what happened was I actually was driving down the freeway. This guy was having people telling stories that they were making $5,000, $10,000, and $20,000 per deal in real estate with no cash and credit. And I laughed. I was like, you got to be kidding me. There is no way that someone can make that much money in real estate. So I actually flipped the channel, and I turned the channel, and I was looking for some sports station I could listen to. Something had to be on. It was May 2013. I was 33 years old, and I was like, there's got to be something on than this guy. And then, I'm a born-again Christian, and I remember I felt the tug from God. I don't know if it was a tug from God. Today I know it was God's intervention, or he's hit me across the head with a 2x4 or whatever it was. But I flipped the channel back, and I continued to listen to what this guy had to say. And he started talking about a concept that I'm going to share with you tonight about flipping houses, that you can do it with no cash and no credit. You can make extra money around your job. And I'm going to show you stories of some people that actually were doing that. And now what this event is about, Eric's going to talk about passion and motivation and how to go out and find your purpose. And I'm going to talk about specifically how to go out and generate a business where you can go out and make an extra $3,000 or $4,000 a month, to where if I make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month consistently every single month, about what I'm going to show you, because I scaled it to a level where I have a staff and I have a team, and it continues to grow. So I started flipping houses in early 2003. I bought over 120 houses, $36 million worth, and then I happened to sell them all in the height of 2005. Now, the interesting thing is that when that situation happened, it was amazing. I had more money coming in than I ever could even possible fathom. Well, I started a company called Phoenix Wholesale Homes and launched that, where we basically flip anywhere from 15 to 20 houses a month. We're in multiple different markets across the country right now. And how I started doing live events and training, I actually started a podcast and launched in iTunes in 2010. And when Eric talks about consistency, and Eric talks about posting, and Eric talks about different things like that, it's amazing that I used almost the similar lines. And that's when we happened to talk, and I showed him about the Breathe University and kind of how to set up that. And what happened was I launched the podcast, and it was just me talking into a mic, talking about the business of wholesaling. And it ended up being the #1 rated real estate investing podcast in iTunes, over 2.5 million listeners in 196 different countries, and it literally just completely blew up. And it's not because I'm anything great at all. I mean, I don't have a college education. I barely graduated high school. The only thing is that I listen to people like Eric Thomas, you know, that is, I don't know if I'm just stupid or I just kept on pressing forward when everyone told me I couldn't do it. So I've been very fortunate, and that's the thing. The next thing is I wrote a book and I launched it. It's been downloaded over 500,000 times. I actually give it away for free, and also it's in Amazon. So here's some success stories of people, and I'm going to show you. David Marquette, hey, thanks, Sean, for the information you provided and pushing and to take action. In 2013, my first year flipping houses, right, made $136,000. Total revenue in 2013, $266,000. That's his first year doing it. Now he has his systems in place. I'm ramping up and expecting $1 million in revenue in 2014. Thank you so much, and God bless. Here's Tyler Weitz. He's a testament to this, that what he has done for him and his family. Last year he did made roughly about $140,000, give or take $2,000 of revenue, with an operating expense about $15,000 in 2013. Was his first full year ever. So imagine going from your job. Now, I was 33. I was making, probably about $20,000 a year, maybe if I was lucky. I had a brand new daughter, right? I was in debt. I was living month to month. There was literally more month to the end of the money. So I'd run out of money on the 25th, and I'd have the rest of the month to live, and it sucked. So then I saw this, and I listened to this guy talking about on the radio, and I happened to buy his course, and I learned the business. And from May 2013 to December 2013, it changed my life. I made $134,000. And teaching exactly how, actually, doing it and going out and buying, not contracting the houses and actually flipping them. So the bottom line is, now I teach and I actually do. I have both companies that do that. So here's Frank Heron, made $130,000 profit. Not bad for him. Brian Elwood, his first year finishing up, flipped 35 homes for a total of $430,000. Now the interesting thing is this guy did it with no cash and no credit of his own. He took home $215,000 between him and his partner. This guy right here, Justin, I don't have the exact numbers, but I did 14 deals in 2012, 23 deals in 2013, made $100,000 in 2013. And then went full-time in June. So that was part-time working around his job. So let me ask you a question. If you were working part-time around your job and you made an extra $100,000 a year, what would it do for your lifestyle? Well, it'd probably do a lot different, wouldn't it? So here's this. This is Paul Bush, right? Paul Bush, he says, thanks, Sean Terry. I have my first settlement, his first deal, after following your program. The lead came in from a bandit side. I followed your suggestion, and the deal was easy to complete. I walked away from settlement with a check of $36,500 from start to finish. The deal took 45 days. So what if you took this information we're talking about right here? What if about 45 days from now you applied it, you went out, and 45 days from now you got a check for $36,500? Okay. Some of you listening, that's more than you make an entire year. This guy made it in 45 days. And I'm going to show you exactly how he's done it. And here's the interesting thing. They all did this with no cash or funding, no credit check. No one asked them for their credit score. No one asked them for cash or credit. And they had no experience, and they were working part-time around their jobs. And they did this with no expensive tools needed, no huge time commitment. And the thing is, you don't have to have talent. I don't have talent, right? Like I said, it doesn't matter where you've come from, what your background is, what city or state are you in. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No proof of funds, no transactional funding if you don't need it. No hard lenders or soft. No borrowing any money from families. No dealing with banks. No difficult paperwork. No huge equity spreads. No REOs, which are bank-owned properties. No contractors. Deals with no equity. So here's the thing. This business is what I'm going to show you, is basically about providing a solution to a very small niche of people. And what we're doing is we're looking to find people that have houses that don't want to sell in traditional means. 95% of the population will sell their properties using a licensed realtor. 95%. They'll call up a realtor, they'll get comps, they'll list their property, they'll put a sign in the yard, they'll clean up their property, they're going to have people walk through their house, it's going to be on lockbox, they're going to get an offer, they're going to get bank financing, they're going to close the deal. That's what typically happens with 95% of the population. Most people, everyone you know, most of the people around you know, have a house. If they're going to sell a house, will call up a realtor and they're going to sell their house that way. What we're looking for is that 3 to 5%. We're looking for that 3 to 5% that there is an impending event or a situation where they have a house that's an unsellable house that they want to sell. So what am I talking about? What's an unsellable house? An unsellable house could be a fire damaged house. An unsellable house could be a vacant house that was trashed by some vandals. An unsellable house could be a landlord who has a house and a tenant trashed the place. He doesn't have the money to fix it up, so he wants to sell it. A house where a family inherited the property because their parents just passed away, and now they have this house. They don't want to put a bunch of money into fixing it to get it lit and get it pretty for the listing agent, so they want to sell their house and sell it quickly. What we're doing is we're providing a service for a very small niche of people. We're solving that problem for those people, and what we're doing is we're reaching out to these people through different forms of marketing, and we're not buying the house, we're not funding the house, we're not having to come up with cash or credit or applying for a loan for the house. We're simply contracting the house. Let me say that again. We're contracting the house. In real estate, there is an incredible, powerful thing that happens when you sign a contract on a property. It gives you controlling interest in that property. It's incredibly important. So here's a basic wholesale transaction so you can understand it. Is that in this case, there's a motivated seller. Let's say the motivated seller, they wanted to, it's in a pre-foreclosure situation. Let's say the motivated seller, let's say they had to do a job transfer and they can't afford 2 houses. We're looking for types of distress, okay? Types of distress. We're looking for financial distress, right? It could be some sort of bankruptcy, financial distress, they lost employment, they lost their job, and they need cash, and they have a property, or they know someone that has a property, right? Or it might be physical distress. Maybe the property is a mess, right? It's been trashed, it's boarded up, there's fire damage, whatever. Or maybe it's circumstantial distress. Maybe it's inheritance or a probate situation. Or maybe it's a divorce situation, which is huge. Maybe, again, loss of employment situation. So we can target, right, this different type of distress. And there's free ways to do it using the internet, but also there's other ways like bandit signs, there's marketing, cheap 33-cent postcards. But the bottom line is you can market for distressed sellers, and what happens, sellers will call you wanting to sell their house. Now what happens is you can get a contract on that house. You can sign a 2-page piece of paper that gives you controlling interest on that property. So let's say you have a $100,000 house. Now here's the deal. You can contract $100,000, it's retail, and you can sign a contract with a motivated seller for $50,000. And you're probably thinking, who in their right mind is going to sell a $100,000 house for $50,000? Well, I do it every day, 15 to 20 times a month here in Phoenix alone, okay? Because in a situation, the seller wants to get rid of it quickly. Typical days on market, right now is 90 to 120 days on market to wait for a house to sell on the MLS. They have to pay real estate commissions, closing costs, and fees, and it has to go through an appraisal process. A lot of properties, if they're trash, they can't go through appraisal process, and they cannot get bank financing. So they have to renovate the property, bring it up to code before they can get bank financing on a property. We can come in, it doesn't matter. We can basically contract the property in as-is condition. So in that particular case, a seller will sell for less money so they can sell it quickly and they don't have to fix up the property. That's the service that we're providing for that niche. So what happens is now, right, we got a buy-side contract, right, for $50,000. Let's say theoretically the house is worth $100, all fixed up. Now this is an as-is house, and we're getting it under contract for $50. Now here's the thing. The beautiful thing about it is you cannot buy Google stock, right? Google. Let me see what Google closed at today, right? Google closed today at 577. You cannot pick up Google stock for $250. You cannot pick up Google stock for $200. If you want to buy Google stock, you have to buy it for $577. The beautiful thing about real estate is you can have a house that's worth $100,000 in a retail market, and you can pick it up on a wholesale market for $50,000. So you sign a contract. Now, did they run credit? No. Did you put a big down payment? No. I typically sign a contract with about $10 of earnest money, $10, right? It's a 2-page contract. It's very simple, $50,000, and you sign a contract. That's all I did. Typically, there's a closing date of about 30 days down the road, and you're signing it for a price. So you get $50,000. Now what's going to happen is we're going to market the property to a cash buyer. Not a buyer that's going to get conventional financing, not a buyer that's going to go out and get a regular bank loan or anything. They're going to pay cash for the property. Now, in the last 6 months, there's been over 120,000 plus cash transactions that have happened in the last 6 months in America. 120,000 cash transactions. There are cash buyers looking for properties. Now, remember, it's a $100,000 house. They're going to buy it for $60,000. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to sign a contract with the buyer for $60,000. Now, you have a contract with the seller, right, for $50,000. You have a contract now for the buyer for $60,000, right? So what do you have? You have 2 contracts. That's all you have. You have a contract with the seller for $50,000, a contract with a buyer for $60,000. That's it. 2 contracts, right? You didn't come out with funding. You didn't write a check. You just have 2 contracts in hand. What you're going to do is bring them to a closing agent. They're either an escrow officer, they're an attorney, depending if you're like in New York or New Jersey. You're going to bring it to an escrow officer, and that is a third-party company, and they handle all the paperwork and they handle all the money. So what's going to happen is you're going to say, I want to do a double escrow, or I want to do an assignment. Either or is fine. You're going to bring both contracts to the closing agent, and what's going to happen is the buyer is going to bring in $60,000 cash to the closing table. He's going to wire in $60,000, of which, right, of which $50,000 goes to the seller, $50,000 goes to the seller, and the $10,000 goes to you in the middle. So here it is. $50,000 goes to the seller. They're happy. They didn't have to clean the property. And typically this happens in 7 days. When I sign a contract with my buyer, they close within 7 days. So what happens is, this is my buyer, they close within 7 days. So what happens is the seller didn't have to pay closing costs. They didn't have to pay fees. They didn't have to pay commissions. They didn't have to fix up the property. They didn't have to worry about cleaning it up. They didn't have to do anything. All they did was sign a contract, and they walk out the door with $50,000 cash. And the buyer walks out the door with a property that's below market, a $100,000 property for $60,000. And because you match these two together, because you matched them together, you walk away with $10,000 for doing it. Now, my question to you is this, right? What if you did this once a month on a part-time basis working around your job? Now, what if you just do half of that? What if you do $5,000? What if you do half of that, $5,000, right? $5,000, half of that, right? And you do it once a month. That's an extra $60,000 that you could make working part-time, doing 1 deal a month around your job. Now, here's my next question. What would it take for you to make $60,000 a raise from your boss as $60,000. What would it take to get a $60,000 a year raise? Think about that. So what's great about this is that you can now this was the concept that I turned the channel when I was listening to the radio. This guy explained this concept. And I was like, this guy's crazy. There is no way this can happen. And I was shocked. Now here's an example deal. Aster, we got a contract price for $97. We sold it to a buyer for $127. In 12 days, right, brought in $30,000 on that deal. $30,000, not bad. So that is a typical wholesale transaction. So ET, what do you think of real estate now?
Oh man, hey Sean, I'm gonna have to get in. You know I'm too busy though, but I'm gonna have to get in at some point. Hey, maybe when I move to San Diego, you can show me how to do that, and I can get my house. When I move to San Diego, I can get my house.
That's the way to do it. I got a buddy of mine in San Diego right now. That's his house he lives in. He found it that way, and he bought it. Wow. He bought it like 40, 50, 60 cents on the dollar.
Hey, I got to make that move. Hey, are we ready for the big announcement?
Let's do the big announcement. We're ready.
All right, you do the big announcement, or I'm doing the big announcement.
Well, since you're the man.
All right.
I'm following your shoes, buddy.
All right, guys. So here's the big announcement. We have never, ever. I've not done this before. It's the first time I'm doing this. A lot of people been hitting me up, wanting to come, and trust me, guys, I understand. So this is what I'm going to do for you guys. Man, CJ took my life to a whole other level. I have been doing this for years. CJ came to me and said, E, man, you the best motivational speaker I've ever met in my life. ET, man, we're gonna get you out to the world. Guys, I did not do this alone. Like I said, when you come, you're going to meet my staff. But what I'm going to do for you, because CJ meant so much to me and literally helped me to blow up, we're going to do something that we've never done before, and that's buy one, get one free. Yup, you heard me say it. Yup, you'll buy one, and then you can bring either your wife, your husband, your child, your business partner, your accountability partner. You can bring that person for free. I said 3 days because you should hurry up. Sean said he'll give you 7. All right. So starting tonight for 7 days, buy one ticket and get your accountability partner, your spouse, whoever, business partner, whoever, free. And let me tell you why I'm saying this. Me and Sean, this is about growth. You cannot change by yourself. Like if you come by yourself, there's a chance you're going to go home and it's going to be like that workout plan where you say you work out, you do it for about 10, 12 days and you stop. But we know when we work out with our homegirl, we work out with our homeboy, we have a better chance of doing it, sustained success. Yeah. So we want you to bring somebody with you so when you go home, you can go home with the information together. You can hold each other accountable, and you can move forward. So that's the big announcement. It's not going to last forever. We're extending the Labor Day sale. And for 7 days, if you get a ticket, you can get that ticket, buy one, and you can get your get that person to come in free with you. So please, act now. It won't last forever, guys.
Yeah, go to attendgreatness.com, attendgreatness.com. I just put the link in the chat section there if you guys can, I don't know if you can see it or not, but go to attendgreatness.com. Now, just to be clear, this is for general admission only. I think we're all sold out of the other spots there, but that's for general admission only on the buy one, get one free. And here's the deal. If you've already purchased a ticket, if you already purchased this ticket, there's no refunds on that, of course, but what happens is you can turn around. If you bought 2 tickets, go out and drag 2 people with you.
Absolutely. Yep, I forgot to say that, Sean. Yep. So if you already purchased the ticket, yeah, you can, because somebody's like, well, what about me? I already bought. Yep, you can invite that person as well. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah. Yeah, just like you and CJ. I mean, you guys together. You turn around, built that thing. So, same with, everyone has someone that they work with that they can network with. So when you go back on Monday, you have someone that was there at the event, and that guy can turn around, and you guys can, basically build this sucker together. So
absolutely. And Sean, I'm being real, guys. like for real, don't you're not going to get this every conference. And I'll be real, you might not get this from me 2015. I was impressed. Sean and I talked. I went out, I prayed about it, because for real, I'm not about the hype, y'all. I'm not about, do you understand that when you change, when you really change from this information that you're getting, from this platform, when you change, you know what that's going to do for us? You know what that does for me? So, guys, this is serious. All right? This is serious. Remember what I told you. You never change what you tolerate. Never. So don't tolerate it anymore. We're making it easy for you. We're saying you can bring somebody. And I'm telling you, when two people do it versus one, boom. Like I was on the speaking circuit before I met C. Before Carl and I hooked up, I was on the speaking circuit. You didn't really know me like that. But when I got with those guys, I took off. So don't play, man. And they're limited seats, so we don't want you to think this is a 1,000-seat arena. It's actually smaller than the last one because I wanted to make it a little bit more intimate. So don't think that, all right, I'll do it on the 7th day. Now the offer is there. Sean says 7. So the offer is for 7. But they might buy up 24 hours, 48 hours. People might buy the actual ticket. So, man, don't do that. You're going to wait till the last minute thing again. Don't do that. There's a direct correlation between the time you execute and your wealth. Those people who wait to the last minute, they don't have the same type of wealth that people do when they do it quickly. So even those of you tonight who have the money, go and solidify your ticket. Think about, right now, I want you to think about that person you're going to bring. Matter of fact, tweet me, all right? Eric Thomas BTC. I want you to just tweet at ET. This is who I'm bringing, all right? Hold them accountable. This is who's coming with me. And then when you get there, I want to see that person. I want to meet that person. And when you leave, no excuses from this day forward. We looked out for you. No excuses. We're going to extend ourselves in a way that probably no other company is going to extend themselves. Get your free person in. So I'm holding you accountable. I'm making you make the first step, call of action. Write down on Twitter who that person's going to be. And within the next 24 hours, don't be the person, who misses out on the opportunity. Go and get your ticket and do your friend a favor. Y'all can split it. Y'all can split the cost down the middle. All right? That's how you want to do it. But make sure you get your ticket and make sure you're there. What Sean has done for me, and I'm keeping it 100. Y'all know I'm authentic. I have never broken information down the way talking to Sean, some of the stuff that we went over after we looked at the survey, we looked at the data. I have never, ever done slides. You've never seen me break information down. Sean literally, through his coaching, I literally broke ET. How did you do it? I've never thought about it before, y'all. I've been living the dream. I never thought about what steps did I take? What did I do? What decisions did I make? Like, what were the steps? I'm giving you the flat-out blueprint for 3 days. And for those of you who signed up for VIP, that is to spend Thursday with us and do dinner with us, guys, y'all about to get next level stuff. So I think there might be those intimate VIPs. There might be a couple of those left. Not many. I remember last time I talked to Sean, there weren't many seats, so you want to get those. But I'm bringing information like I've never brought it before. You cannot, unless you're where you want to be, cool. But if you're not where you want to be in life, you cannot afford just to get the free webinar. You can't afford just to listen to the TGIMs. You have to be in the building.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And just to leave it on this note is that our mission when talking to Eric is to when people leave the event Sunday night, they leave with 100% clarity and confidence on exactly what they're going to do and execute, and they're going to leave with a business opportunity where they can generate extra cash, so they can get their financial problems out of the way, and they can have confidence and clarity on where they want to be. So that's the exciting thing. So guys, go to attendgreatness.com, attendgreatness.com. Get signed up. We're going to see you in October 2nd or October 3rd through the 5th. You signed up for the VIP. We'll see you all day. That's the intensive day, the intimate day. That day is where we will sit in a room with 15 people. Eric and I will be in the room, and you'll be able to get up, and you get 30 minutes of intimate time where you get to stand up and talk about to Eric, and you're going to be a group. It's like a mastermind group with Eric and I. It's going to be phenomenal.
Awesome.
That is on Thursday. So that's going to be cool. So go to Attend Greatness right now. You rock the house, buddy. Awesome information. I always learn something when I listen to you. And I definitely...
Vice versa, baby. Vice versa.
Vice versa. So, all right, go to Attend to Greatness. Get signed up, and we will talk. Peace.
Peace.
See ya.
So